seen him getting ready to do it. I was like, what you need? And he was like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm outside. Like, what you need? He was like, none. I think he said, like, basically he wanted to know where I was or something. And I was like, okay. I'm like, well, I'm outside. You know, I was like, you stay right there, watch your show. And he's like, okay. And I said something about, like, I was angry. It's like, Matt, young, dumb, stupid, joined the gang, got in way over his head way too quick before he even knew what he was doing, you know what I mean, like what this gang life really was like. He was already in it, and the first thing he ever did as a part of being a gang member was the last thing he did. Talk about the most disrespected, unprotected person in the world is the black woman. Y'all a damn lie. A damn lie. A damn lie. Because the most unprotected, disrespected person in the world is a child. Okay. Look, I just filmed the outro. Now I gotta film the intro. This is awkward. Alright. Hey boo, what's up? Welcome back to another video. I'm Sybil Mari. This is my YouTube channel, and yeah, I don't know how this should go. I usually don't do intros like that, so that was just super awkward. So anyway, in this video, I'm just gonna chit chat, kind of talk about life, what I'm going through, random stuff, blah blah blah, get it all out, kind of take a moment, pause. You know, I don't really talk about too much in it. Like, you know, just did my makeup though. Talk about my husband, you know, what life is like with that situation. But yeah, so I guess that's it. Yeah, so stay tuned and watch this video. If you like it, thumbs it up, subscribe, you know, stay in touch, do the whole shebang. I'm about to fall. My mat is sliding from under me. So like, I'm literally like, wait. I'm like, okay. Cut it. I don't know why I had to see it through. I had to see if I was gonna fall. Like, it was like, is it gonna go? How fast is it? Because it was kind of a really good back stretch. I'm like leaning on the sink. So like, when it just did that, hold on, how can I make it happen again? Okay. Alright. Wait, there it goes. Okay. Ready? Wait, what? Watch me just like, alright, while I figure out how to hurt myself, you guys watch this video. What's up, you guys? I wanted to do a get ready with me. This is something I don't think I've ever done on this channel, but you know, with the new way my channel's going, I want to like embrace the girly side of me again and doing makeup and stuff. I just finished a visit with my husband, so I was on the little, you know, freshly woken up and TV type of look this morning. AKA I jumped in the shower like 10 minutes before we had to get on the phone. I took my hair down. I was like, hi baby. And he was like, what's up? Like, I'll moisturize my face that man be like, you look so pretty. I'm like, oh, thank you. What you want? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are you being so nice? No, my husband always tells me I'm pretty, but I'll be like, yo, when I'm ugly, then, you know, you could like question it. But anyway, so I wanted to do a chit chat, get ready with me kind of video. And I feel like it's more in the sense of like, I don't ever pause in life. Like, I never get a minute to pause, you know, before I'm transitioning into the next phases of life. And I'm about to be 30. So like, I feel, you know, inshallah, I'll make it to 30. 28 now, but I'm like going into 29. Like, I've already left 28 mentally. I'm already like into 30. So, excuse me. I feel like I wanna, you know, like just take like a beat. Like, just take a beat. You know what I mean? Literally, just take a beat. That's as little as it is, as much as it is. Like, I just want to take a beat. I want to film. I want to, you know, get into this mood of like this 30-year-old woman that I want to be like now. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, I think I need to do a reflector, and it kind of will like, people who don't know me personally that follow me and stuff, you guys will get to know me. And also it's like my place to be like, boom, like here I am, this is me, this is my life, this is who I am right now, and like moving forward, basically. I've done some videos kind of like that. Like I did like a hijab video. I lied. I ain't going back to hijab. Not like that. Like I bought some hijabs. I'm wearing them. But that was like a real big commitment. And yeah, it's just like I still, like I had said, I don't know why I just did that. Just slid it through the table. Literally watched myself slide the comb through the table. You guys kid. No, for real though, like I said, hijab to me is more than like a scarf. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's just the way you carry yourself, what you let be known about yourself, like certain things. So when it comes to my hair, I'm just like at a point, it's my hair. Like when I feel like showing it, I'm showing it. When I don't. Like that's just me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't go nowhere. So I also feel like with YouTube, it's very hard to go at YouTube with like how I would walk outside in the world type of thing, but then I'm supposed to expose stuff about myself that I would never expose outside. You know what I mean? So that's kind of hard. What is this? But yeah. So with that being said, I'm just like, let's just live our best life. You know, just live it now. And I'd rather continue on my journey and not like drop back off YouTube because I said I was going to do something I didn't do, and then I get all in my head, and then my mind, billions of people know that I was going to do something I didn't do it, so there's going to be like all these people that are like, why didn't you do it? Like, I don't know why I'm like this. So yeah, that's what we're about to do. I hope you guys can hear me good. I have an AirPod in to, do I even look cute? I feel like I really have like body dysmorphia for real. And I was telling my husband this because yeah, like I was telling my husband, I really think I have like body dysmorphia. Like the way I see myself versus what I actually look like sometimes, or I'll think I look like, and I'll be like, girl, sometimes I go on the opposite. Yeah, where you be like, no, I don't look that bad, and then you like, girl, you do look that bad. So here's my mirror. There's you guys. I'm just gonna chat. I need my makeup that's all the way over there now. Yeah, so I'm gonna start calling these like coffee chit chat specific. You know? Maybe that's gonna be my intro. Hey boo. Oh yeah, that's gonna be the intro. Hey boo. Cause you know how everybody got like their thing. I don't have a thing, and I think that's one of the things that kind of stresses me out about YouTube is like I don't have like I don't know how to explain it. You know how people be like they have like their catchphrase. I don't have a catchphrase. Like what is my catchphrase? Yeah. So maybe hey boo. Hey boo, because I do say that all the time. That's why I bought that cup. I always be like, hey boo. Or it's mostly for kids. Like kids, that's who gets the boo out of there. Like, hey boo boo. What you doing, boo boo? How you doing, boo boo? Come here, boo boo. Yeah, my daughter was looking for a kid. She's like, okay, she's all there's no kids here. Like, I'd be playing. So none of my makeup brushes are clean. I don't know what I'm about to do with. Literally this is gonna be my everyday look. But I just want to chit chat though while I do my makeup, so I don't know how long it'll take. Maybe I'll have to talk longer after my makeup's done. I don't know. But anyway, so let's just get into the first category of like health. I want to do like a mental check-in on health. So like right now I feel like with my health, I'm not like the healthiest. Mentally, I am really good. I'm getting back on like, you know, not procrastinating as much and getting out of my head a little more. I'm a weed smoker, so that sometimes does play like a really big part in it, in what I do on the regular. Like, so I can get really in my head and it's just not pretty. Excuse me. What, are we selling lashes? Maybe I do want some lashes. These lashes are pretty. Probably some. you won't do lashes. We won't do lashes. No. That's it. This little bag I got from, like, I think a Burlington. It's like a Juicy Couture little makeup bag. Almost everything I have is like Juicy Couture or something. It's from Burlington. Or some things actually truly are outlet. Like, I think I got Mama Stuff. I have like a duffel bag and a travel bag. I think that still is outlet. But everything else being Burlington, Ross, those different places. Yeah, so anyway, as far as health, like my mental health I think could be better. Like for real, I haven't been exercising. And when I'm not exercising, my brain is not as clear. So I tried to get exercising today, but that didn't work. So then I just stretched for a little bit. I got dressed, but it wasn't like I just didn't work out. I just didn't have, I don't think I'm eating enough, so I don't have like enough energy to really work out right now. You know what I mean? Like I think if I was to work out, I'd probably just fall over because I'm not eating. And it's not like trigger warning. I gotta put trigger warnings on all my videos, but like I don't know if it's like because I'm starting to feel overweight and I'm trying to lose the weight, or if it's just like pure like I said, I'm a weed smoker, so if you know anything about weed, you'll be hungry as hell, and I'll just be like starving. Like right now I'm starving but don't want to eat nothing, so I genuinely only had my coffee this morning. This pencil is done up, like done. I've been using it. Look at this. I don't know if you guys can see it. Hold on. Wait, where is it? Y'all see that? That's how empty it is. It's crazy. Anyway. So, let me just get a little shadow. I really don't line my eyebrows. That's really all I do is right there. I like to make that like spot dark. So then, cause I'm lazy and all that perfect eyebrow shit, all that time, God told me just clean up around them. So I'm gonna just go with what he said, cause it's quicker and my eyebrows be taking over the world. I've given up. I just feel like as I lose weight anyway, they're gonna be more prominent and I'm just gonna like them more, so just leave them alone. And I just won't touch them right now. These is gross. I mean, an eyebrow mental. You don't think about this until you put a camera on and you're like, somebody else might see this, but y'all really can't see it, so it's kind of gross. You know, in the school we be having like just random ferns and shit, like strings and stuff. But do I have any sort of where's my nephew? Oh, dude. My nephew, when he was little, we'd be like, where's the chapstick? And then he'd be like, yo, that used to be our shit. Maybe I can find the video. I think I have it. But he was so cute when he was little. He's so mean now. He's so mean. I want to FaceTime him, but I don't feel like arguing. Like, you know what I mean? He like a boyfriend. You be missing him and you be like, but I don't feel like arguing with you, bro. I'll call you. I gotta argue. I ain't arguing with you. And so lately we haven't really been talking. And quite frankly, I'm not obligated to talk to you every day. This is how good my mental health is right now. Like even with my nephew, I'm like, I'm not obligated to talk to you every day. And if I have to call you and argue with you to get you to break through, because he's having like these, like, I think it's separation anxiety. He's angry, but he doesn't know how to express anger because he's not a mad baby. Like he's usually always happy. So when something does throw him off, he doesn't know how to like what is it that's throwing me off? So especially with me, I try to like talk him through it. Like, well, are you feeling mad at me? Like, are you mad? And then finally he'd be like, yeah, mad. Like, I'm mad. Okay, but why? Like, why are you mad at me, bro? Like, what's the matter? You know what I mean? And like trying to get him to say like, I miss you or things like that. So then he can feel it. But like at the same time, he's 3. I'm really not, like, I'm not every day thinking like, let me call, or I don't want to interrupt, but we got to get him to where it's like he can ask for me. You know what I mean? To be like, I want to call Tina, I want to talk to Tina, whatever. So I've been calling him every couple weeks, trying to like give that space in there. But yeah, if you didn't know, I lived with my nephew for the last year, so we were like homeschooling and stuff together. Like I was doing all that so that they could work, and it was a lot. We got real close. That's my boo. That's my boo. But you know, we grow apart. Tina had to move. Tina's 5 hours away. He does not like this. He came up here and that was fun. That was a little fun. We were beefing hard, bro. Like, and it was sad. Like I was so stressed out too, because I'm like, I don't like having to be mean, but I knew if I lifted my foot tiny bit that week, a tiny bit, he's gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this every time I come up here. So no, we did not go to the beach. We didn't even see a park. That's how bad it was. Like we did not do anything. He barely even had his truck the whole week. His truck was on top of the fridge. It was really not good. So we decided we're gonna try to do like a weekend, trip. Usually like a weekend, a couple days is good. Day 1, day 2, I think was like, it wasn't the worst. You know what I mean? He just had to realize who he was with for a second and remember like, I'm with Tina and Tina won't be playing that shit. Like, and it was serious stuff. Like, well, for me, I see as serious behavioral issues because we don't do jumping on couches. We don't do climbing. We don't do that stuff. Like, meaning me and him. We do not do that. I don't care what the hell anybody else lets you do. Tina don't play that shit. I'm not gonna play that as a mother. I don't play that as an aunt. I don't play that as a babysitter. I don't play that as a neighbor. I don't play that as a friend. Like, don't jump on my shit. Period. And I believe the earlier you teach these boundaries and you teach it like, that is mine. Like, you don't jump on my stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go in your room jumping on your stuff. And that was the type of beefing we were having. Like, granted, he was excited. Like, Tina just got her own house, whatever. But it was also like, when I was saying I have to work for a couple minutes, like, he throwing fits, all that. And it was like, before I even go from like, yo, give me these 5 minutes to work to even getting to work, I done wasted so much energy arguing with him to letting me walk away. Like, and that's not normal. So I'm like, I get it. It's separation issues and it's like, it's his way of expressing, but like, this is never going to be an okay to express. And as he gets older and starts understanding reasoning, it'll make more sense. Like, okay, no, I was truly being a dick. Like, by the end of the week, we were beefing still. And what happened? He was in the house. I was watching him on the camera. I seen him get up to come out. Like, it was like one of those check on you type of things. You know how like when you go check on kids, they start to learn that pattern. So they do it back but don't realize what they're doing. But like, just their body's like, wait, where is she? And they come, they look, and they go, nothing. And then walk back or whatever. So I seen him getting ready to do it. I was like, what you need? And he was like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm outside. Like, what you need? He was like, nothing. I think he said, like, basically he wanted to know where I was or something. And I was like, okay. I'm like, well, I'm outside. I was like, you stay right there, watch your show. And he's like, okay. And I said something about, like, I was angry. It's like, mad. And he was like, see this way. I was like, I'm mad. And he was like, oh, I'm mad too. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, don't you think that if you're mad and I'm mad, that it would be best? Oh, because he wanted to come with me. And I was like, no. Like, don't you think it would be best if we separate? And he's like, okay. And then he rolled his eye. I watched him. He rolled his eyes, hopped back on the couch, watched the show for a little bit. And then I came in and we, like, talked. And it was cool. And then the day I took him home, we had no beefs. Like, maybe, like, I think it was, like, a diaper beef. Like, yo, pick up your shit. Like, pick it up off the floor. And that was the thing that was like really blowing my mind. Like, ever since he was a baby, I do not play that. You pick up behind yourself. Like, my house, my spaces, none of that. I don't believe that because you're a kid, you're allowed to be lazy and be disrespectful. Absolutely not. if you can pick up your toys to go play with them, you know what I mean? Like if you can have that concept of picking something up, then you can pick up things to put them back where they belong. And I think that when you go soft on stuff like that, on 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, that's how you get a 7, 8-year-old that got no respect for you whatsoever. And that's just something we not gonna do. Like, we just not gonna do that, because, yeah, no. I don't got time. Especially, like, as he gets older and he is allowed to ask for me more. Like, my sister, she's mad cool with, like, I'll drop him off. Let's go. Drive to 2.5 hours. Like, so as he gets older and he is coming to see me more, no matter where I'm living, like, we have to have those exact same boundaries of, like, I know when I go to Tina's house, don't be fucking with shit. Like, and he has things that he can play with, and he has things that, you know, he knows is, like, baby okay, like, he can grab. And that was the problem, too, is he's, he was 2 going on 3 that week. Like, he was turning 3, like, the week after. And if you've ever been around a 3-year-old, they fucking know everything. They know it all. They know everything. They know the world. So it was lots of, I knows, and I'm not a baby. Like, he was getting mad because I kept calling him baby. I'm like, you are acting like a baby, bro. Like, and the thing is, he wants the babying. He does want to be cuddled and all that, but I'm not gonna cuddle. Like, I was trying to get him to understand that week. Like, I haven't been putting him to naps, cuddling him for a couple months now, not being next to him. But beforehand, what? Cuddle, let's go. Like, I'm allowed to spoil you. I'm your aunt. But that week, it was like, I tried, you know, we did it the first night, we cuddled, we watched a movie and all that, and I'm like, all right, I want him to, you know, get comfortable to sleep out in the room, things like that, whatever. His, like, my husband's gonna come home one day, or also, that could beat you up in your fucking sleep. I'm just not about to be keeping, like, myself exposed to this type of abuse. I don't got time. So we was trying to do that, or whatever, but, like, naps, you can still take your naps in my bed, because it's a comfort thing, whatever, but he's just, like, it was just so bad. It was just bad. Like, that week gave me PTSD. I never want to be that angry, and I don't want him to ever feel as frustrated as he was. So going forward, we have to, like, because I could see it, like, he was very frustrated with trying to communicate, but it's like, he don't want to listen to nothing that you're saying. And that is something with men as they're older. I'm sure if you date men, you could say, like, yo, like, bro, you know you're frustrated. Like, figure out how to communicate it. You know what I mean? Like, that's something I don't want him to ever have to deal with. Like, I want him to grow up feeling healthy, to be like, nah, like, I'm really upset, or I'm really hurt, or I'm really, you know, angry. I'm really feeling disrespected. I'm feeling manipulated. I'm feeling used. Like, I want you to understand what it feels like to feel these things. So, and, like, how to say these things, you know what I mean, as you get older. So, yeah. But with him, it's like, I'm just mad because you're not giving me my way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not getting my way, but you have to understand, like, why you're not getting your way right now, or why you're going into timeout. I definitely did not blend none of that. Gross. That was what I planned on doing, but that's good. I like it when it dries anyway, because then you just buff it out. But yeah, so I said all that to say, like, my mental health. No, the week he was here kind of threw me off, because I had just gotten, like, kind of comfy. Then he left, and then my husband got put on a lockdown like 2 weeks ago. So once I get comfortable and, you know, change from that, so I'm just accepting life is literally just never gonna be comfortable. Like, life is never gonna be, like, not constant changes. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just at that point. If I've learned anything in my 20s, whatever you think your life will look like next year, it's not. Like, it's not. And whatever you don't think is gonna be possible is gonna be possible. You know what I mean? Like, I am gonna double up. Yeah, so that's what I'm just learning. Like, life is way too short for all. It is. And I just don't want to continue to live life that short. Like, people think I think too into stuff, especially when it comes to, like, children and things like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they don't think like they don't need to think like that. They're a kid. I need to think like that. I am the adult. I need to be constantly thinking of what is my child perceiving something as. Like even with my dogs, like yesterday we sat out there on the porch in the porch room, and I had both of them sitting on my lap, and I really was just thinking, I'm like, I used to literally carry Mumu around constantly. So what does she see me as doing when I'm not picking her up no more? You know what I mean? Like, she's older. She's like 9 years old. She's bigger. You know, she's not a lap dog like that. She really doesn't come to you for attention, but when she does, she has weird ways of showing it. So sometimes you might not even peep it, and like it could go like 2-3 days that she'll be like asking me, and I won't be paying her no mind because I'm like in my own world or something, and then I'll be like, damn, like you really have been trying to get my attention. You know what I mean? Like little stuff like that. I try to pay attention to, because like I don't want my lack of awareness to be somebody else's trauma or somebody else's hurt and confusion. You know what I mean? Whether it's a dog, whether it's a baby, whether it's a human, like a husband, you know what I mean? Like a friend, whatever. I don't like that. So I try to be like, you know, a little more aware of what exactly I am and not doing and doing as a mom. And I feel like having dogs down really helps that, because like I've had Mumu since I was like 18 years old. So with that, like came a lot of responsibility I didn't even think I was about to get. You know what I mean? Like gotta come home and shit, gotta feed somebody. Like it's hard for real. Like I can only imagine with a kid. If I was that young, I'm so glad I didn't. You know, like now being about to be 30 with still no children, but having child experience, I'm grateful for the child experience. Like, ooh, shit. Ooh, shit. Alright, yeah. I'm grateful for the child nurturing experience. Like I started babysitting as a teenager. You know, like little girl round block type of shit, whatever. Then once everybody started having kids, then I was just like the adult babysitter, friend babysitter. Yeah. So my whole childhood really was spent raising other kids. So now, like, as an adult, it's, like, weird to not be taking care of a kid for real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really awkward sometimes when I'm like, yo, I really don't have, like, any kids to be really concerned about at all. You know what I mean? Other than, like, my nephew. But he's taken care of well. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to be like, oh, my God, I wonder if this. Like, they're good. They're doing good. Have to love. Like, same with my other nephew. And he's still little. He ain't even doing nothing, like barely picking up his head. It's like, no, I think, I don't know if this now. He probably is like doing little cool stuff right now. But, like, it's a little more calm right now, I think, when it comes to the children in my life. So that part, I feel like, is like awkward. You know what I mean? Like, later, I'm used to every day having some kid running around like non-stop around me. And I've had these moments throughout like my 20s where I've had those pauses where I'm not like around somebody with a kid all the time, or taking care of one, babysitting one, like anything like that. I've had those moments, and they're always so awkward because it's like then me as a woman who is a constant nurturer, like I feel so shifted and so off. That's why I think like having my dogs and stuff has really helped with that over the years, because then I'm like constant emotion, like constant mom motion type shit. And it's crazy because like with my husband now, we talk about like having kids and stuff, and like I like it because I like it because we're able to have like conversations most people don't get to have before they have kids. You know what I mean? Like that time really buys us a lot more than I think like at first even going into my relationship like that I ever even could have expected. You know what I mean? Like, and I used to say it, but like now really a couple years in, I'm like, no, for real, like God really mashallah, like it's a blessing in disguise. You know what I mean? Like, because we both are two really like hurt people and really broken people that kind of built ourselves to back to like healthiness, at least, you know what I mean? And so like my fears is like with kids and stress and things like that, like, but we talk about a lot of stuff. I express with him like my fears of like losing my patience, and you know, like we both, that rule of like we're just not beating them, so it don't matter what the hell they do. The rule is I'm not putting my hands on my kid. You know what I mean? Like I'm not raising my voice to them. There's a difference from like authoritative, like, you know, correcting, like excuse me, like, you know, there's a difference from that. But like yelling and stuff, like I had to yell that week with my nephew. Like we got into like a yelling match type of thing. That I was like, oh no. And when I dropped it, it was like, you got me chopped. You think I'm gonna do this with you? No, I'm not. I'm not giving you this energy. What you're gonna give me is a corner until you fix your attitude. Period. Like, absolutely not. I'm not doing that. Argue with no damn kid. You don't pay no damn bills. You can't do nothing. You know what I mean? Like they're not like that. They're kind of dumb. I'm not gonna argue with a kid. Like he be right about some stuff that he's going off about. He might be right. He might have like justified reasons in his little mind. But you're gonna talk to me with respect and talk to me calmly. So, and with him, I always come trying to talk first. Always try to talk first. And if we can't talk, then absolutely not. You talk to me when you can. Like I will not sit here and be your little Tina punching bag. No, we're just gonna use this blush. Because I want some color on my eyes, but at the same time I don't, you know? But anyway, yeah, so I like that part. So, like, when it comes to relationships, like my relationship with me, I just got off a visit with him, so... Yeah, in case anybody's wondering, who the hell is my husband, right? Y'all probably like, what is this husband? No, my husband, I spoke about him a couple times on my channel before all those videos were taken down. Yeah, before those videos were taken down. So, my husband's name is Quaid Batts. He is a juvenile lifer serving time in Pennsylvania for a murder that he committed as a teenager. And I know somebody probably like, she just said that mad calm. Please understand, this is my everyday. So it's kind of hard to be like, okay, like you get past it, I think. You know what I mean? Like, get past like the fear of like admitting who your husband is type of thing. Like, I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, so yeah, no. My husband, he was 14 and he was young, dumb, stupid. Joined the gang, got in way over his head way too quick before he even knew what he was doing, you know what I mean, like what this gang life really was like. He was already in it, and the first thing he ever did as a part of being a gang member was the last thing he did as a free man gang member. He's no longer in a gang, for the record. Was the last thing, first and last thing, he took the life of another teenager who was 16, may he rest in peace. His name is CJ. He took his life, and we are all from like the same town now. So it's like, it's a real complicated and confusing thing. I would drive y'all crazy trying to get you to understand the way this person connect with this person, that person, that person, and that person, that person in all of our lives. So I won't even go down that path, but to, you know, just answer any questions of like where we stand now. You know, I have certain friends and family with him and stuff that like everybody, you know, like my husband 110%, 110% has remorse. You know what I mean? Like that's not even a question. You know, he's been locked up for like 14, about to be 15 years. So at this point where you guys are just about to hear about him, please understand this is like, and I'm telling you this right now, don't get in my comments talking crazy. Just don't get in my comments talking crazy. I turn up over mine for real fast, real quick. All Calm Cool Collective will be cut smooth the fuck out. Like I'll be up in the comments like, no. When it comes to like my husband, it's a very sensitive topic, you know what I mean? So just like understand, like I'm coming towards it with sensitivity at the same time. You know what I mean? Because like y'all not from my town, so really how you feel about it really don't matter. Get it? Like it really, how anybody feels about anything, it doesn't matter. The people who are hurt by it, we're the ones that matter. We're the ones that like have to deal with this from both sides. Like we're one town, we're one family, literally like one family. Like him being with me is like, he moved into my town as a kid from out of town, nobody knew him, you know what I mean? So when this happened back in the day, it was like, oh, who the fuck is he? But now it's like, that's my husband. So it's still, we're one big like city that everybody bleeds the same. We all hurt. When one person gets hurt in our town, the whole town hurting from both sides. It just be so emotionally like draining and it's exhausting. So just please understand, like y'all are coming from an outside in on the internet world, but like this is like a topic that really it's heavy to deal with on an everyday basis, you know what I mean? Like there was a lot of people hurt, there's a lot of people traumatized from this for years, and it's not saying like, oh, he ran up in a school shooting people type of shit, like traumatized like that, but it's like when he hurt that boy, there's so many people that loved him and loved each other and loved this person and loved that person, and it's like, you all hurt. Like I hurt for him and never even met him, you know what I mean? Like I hurt for his family because I know them, you know what I mean? So it was just always like, for myself, I was like 13 at the time, so trying to even gather what you feel about this, like it's hard, because it's like, yo, the boyfriend that I was with, my husband at the time was like a football player, you know, the boy that I was with, football player, you know, he did track or something, basketball. I know he always had on sports stuff, like, you know, it's high school shit, high school relationships. And then one day I woke up, he was on the front page of the newspaper for a murder. I was like, wait, y'all right? Like, y'all sure? And then when it came out and he actually confessed and all that, that was like, oh my God, because now like I can't speak too much because of my own safety. I gotta be quiet, can't say nothing. And then at the same time, because back then, you know, the gang shit was real back in 2006. Like, so I couldn't like be like, oh no, I couldn't speak on his character. I couldn't say anything to no one. Nobody wanted to hear that. So I was smart enough to know, like, shut up. But it was hard. It was heavy. That shit crushed me. My whole childhood was like done, basically. Like literally, like my childhood was done. I had to grow up overnight because there was no adults telling me how to process this. Everybody, oh, see that boy you like, look. And I'm like, y'all don't even, like, this shit don't even feel right. Like, this don't even sound right. Like, what are y'all even talking about? Y'all just jump into that boy ain't shit, his mama ain't shit, his family. And I'm like, what? Like, where y'all even, nobody even know them. So, for years, we maintained a friendship and all that, maintained closeness with everybody. But then when it came to like us getting together and stuff as adults, that kind of reopened that wound again a little bit too for a lot of people. So I had to have conversations with people that like I never thought I was gonna have, and it was hard, and it was like reliving it all over again. So now it's been a couple years that I feel comfortable enough to like, you know, I got to talk about my husband. I have to talk about his case, but I just want it to be understood. Like when I speak about my husband, like, you know, it's like saying how like when we be like Black Lives Matter and they be like all lives matter, right? But it's like, yeah, like no, all lives matter, but you need to understand that Black lives matter too. You know what I mean? So when it comes with him, it's like, oh, like victims matter. Yes, but the victim of the system matters just as much too, because he was somebody who's a child and our system failed him prior to him even committing this crime, and then our system failed him after. People around him failed him, like his family failed him, you know? Like everybody was kids at the time. So it was like he didn't have these tools. Now to understand where he's at, you're like, yo, the family got the tools they needed. You know what I mean? Like the community is getting the tools they needed. He got the tools he needed. He found his own tools. Like my husband will tell you, and I'm gonna tell you right now, since I'm speaking on it, he has rehabilitated himself. He has transformed himself into the man that I'm proud enough to be like, no, that's daddy, like that's my husband, that's my man, that's like when you hear a thought come from my mind, not even on no Stockholm syndrome shit, but like, you know what I mean? Like, please understand, like, this is some shit, like, we be talking deep, you know? He did that, so, like, not the system. So when it comes to his sentence, my husband was hit at 14, he was hit with a life sentence, right? So they took away giving life sentences to juveniles. Search Miller versus Alabama. If you're a Googler, search Bats, search Miller versus Alabama, search juvenile life sentences, Pennsylvania. You'll be able to gather a lot of information real quick. So with all of that, like, his case is like, okay, he can come home. We just need to give him a number. Cool. Well, what number y'all want to give him? They talk 30s, 40s and stuff. You're talking about a 14-year-old. So you're saying you want him to come home into a world that has completely drastically changed since 2006 till 2020, where we are right now. You want to add on another 20 years and send him home in that world? How will he survive? How will he make do? You know, and that's the fight that he's fighting for himself. But now his fight is also, there's men that are sitting in there that went in at the same age, that they're waiting on him to be able to come home, and they're like 60, 70, 80 years old. Y'all still got them sitting in there. So when I'm passionate about my husband, I want everyone to please understand that it's not like on some selfish, like, I want my man. Like, yeah, I want my man to come home, and my man's gonna come home, and that's because I believe in God. I don't believe in just this system and this and that, like, none of that. I believe in God. I believe God put my husband in the place that he's in, and he lives the life that he's living right now for this reason. For the reason for all those other people who weren't thought twice about, who weren't given a second chance, nobody wanted to think about what their childhood was like, or if they knew, you know, like what love even was before they committed their crimes. Like, I go through some of the crimes of people, you know, that like my husband might know or talk to me about or whatever, and I'm like, that shit is crazy. Like, how could y'all, like, I'm only 28, and I just feel like everybody tells me all the time, oh, wait till you have kids. You gonna love your kid unconditionally. You going this, you going that, you know, with all kinds of different stuff. And I'm like, okay, if this is so true, why are we in a world that we're in that nobody, you know how they talk about the most disrespected, unprotected person in the world is the black woman? Y'all a damn lie. A damn lie. A damn lie. Because the most unprotected, disrespected person in the world is a child. The children of this country, the children of this world, and the children in these systems, the children right in front of us sitting on tablets for 27 hours a day, these children that are out here running these streets getting high. These children are the most disrespected and not protected people of the world. I'm not nowhere near as disrespected as these kids every day. These kids are being told that they're stupid because they don't act a certain way, don't dress a certain way, don't talk a certain way. These children are being told, and I'm talking about all children, black, white, Hispanic, Mexican, Arab, like all of these kids. Everybody, we all do the same cycle of life. I feel like we all go through, you know, the child phase where everybody either loves you, you know, or it's like you just fit into the world. You're just there, you know, and just think about like the parents that like aren't taking care of their kids. You know what I mean? So think of being that kid that goes to bed hungry every night. You don't know where your mom is, what's going on, what's happening today, tomorrow, barely paying attention to school because you're hungry. Like, think about that kid. So then when that kid's getting a little bit older, and now where, you know, you have another kid that's completely being taken care of, where he's 13, 14, thinking about like his future dream job and what sports and, you know, what things he's gonna do. That's like a life my husband was living. But then he also has that other side of like, I want a family. I want people to love me and care about what I'm thinking, you know. And when he's being raised by a teenage mom who's now at like 25, like I couldn't imagine having a teenager. So when you're raised by somebody who is still figuring out who they are at this time, it's only set to explode into something, you know what I mean? And it wasn't like my husband went out and was like, oh, I'm gonna kill somebody today. We have kids that are thinking like that, but nobody's caring about that kid. We're only thinking about the crime. We're only thinking about who they hurt. We have to hurt for them just as much, you know what I mean? Like, I believe like all these kids, like the Kyle Rittenhouse kid, right? When he went to this protest and he shot somebody, now this the white boy that shot up the protest or whatever, and everybody was like, oh, burn him, do this, do that. Like, hold on, I'm just as mad as y'all. But that's a child, and he don't even know that he is a pawn in a game that is much bigger. And when it came to my husband, yeah, he made that decision on his own to go forth and do what he did. But he made that decision as a kid that was also scared, a kid that was intimidated, a kid that just wanted to be accepted. And that's what Kyle Rittenhouse did at 4 years older. And I still look at him like he's a child. So when I have like sympathy towards somebody like my husband who's 14 years old, you damn skippy. It's because I still have sympathy for that 18-year-old boy. Do I feel like he did not know what he was doing? Absolutely, he knew what he was doing. But do I think that he went to this with the intention to truly hurt somebody? Probably not. He tried, probably, I want to fit in. I just want to be strong. You know what I mean? I want to seen as respected, and got way too deep. Probably really was scared for his damn self, because we can be intimidating. You know what I mean? Like, and they went down there on some like Napoleon like complex type bullshit. So I feel bad that one action now in his life that's about to define his entire life. Not only is it going to define his whole life, everything that like is being said from us, all that outside is going to be labeled onto him before that boy's even able to process why he did what he did. That is why I feel bad. So then when he is now like 28, 29, 30 years old, and he's looking back, our narrative made that boy who he was. So now he's like, wait, no, I'm trying to tell y'all, like, yo, y'all don't even know me for real. Like, you know what I mean? So that's just that. To say all that, so that's my situation with my husband. So right now, like, where my future stands as far as marriage and stuff, like, we're chilling. We are actually, he's not technically my husband yet. He's been my husband for the last 3 years. We need to do this damn ceremony. But with the person, it just isn't possible. So we finally figured out a way. Inshallah, we should be getting married in the upcoming weeks, like officially. But yeah, so I feel like just with him not having like a sentence and him not knowing when he's gonna come home or anything like that, we can only live our lives to the best we can right now and establish, like, you know, some sort of a life together now. And it's kind of cool because we have like visits and stuff on the phone, so it's like he can come in the house. I feel like my husband, like today, I feel like my husband was home. I feel like his presence was in the house, like the house, the walls heard his voice, you know what I mean? Like things like that. Like my dogs are a lot calmer, you know, like, and it's crazy because it's like that's the kind of stuff that I know when you're here, you're gonna bring the same peace to me. So I look forward to the journey, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard, don't get me wrong. I don't think even I know how hard it is until it's really, really, really hard. And then I'm like, this is so hard. Like the other day when they was on their little lockdown, I finally had like, just cried it out. And he was like, I knew it was coming. I told myself, like, brace yourself, because she's gonna cry today. I'm like, good, I'm glad you know. Because it was like 2 weeks, you know, you can get by, I can get by not talking to him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, I need to speak to him. But there's a certain level of raw that I can be with my man that I can't be with anybody else. And that is something like that I need on a regular basis. You know what I mean? Like, I need that. What time is it? I'm trying to keep up. My assistant is on her way back here by 1 o'clock, and I gotta pee, so I'm shaking. But anyway, no, I feel like there's like a level of raw that I get to be with my husband that I can't be with anyone else. So when he can't talk to me and I can't talk to him, and like we're only getting these little quick 15-minute phone calls here and there, I bitch be kind of stressed. I'll be going through it. So it's not easy at all. As for business though, I feel like with business, as you guys know, I'm a graphic designer, and one thing I do want to start really diving into is like how I get involved in things that like aren't women careers. You know, I feel like graphic design was something that just got labeled a man career because the boys like being on the computers and things like that, and girls, you know, we like being around our friends, running around, talking, whatever. So growing up, like, I was always low-key really on the computer, like every night playing on computers and all that. And I constantly created like these mock businesses. So now I'm like, why is that not my business? Like creating branding for other businesses and stuff. That's why I do that now. And I do it full time. So it is my full-time job. I'm poor. Please like book if you need like branding for real. Yeah, it is my full-time career right now. Like, as I work on everything else, I want to work on projects and stuff. Like, I have a lot of plans business wise. And like I want to get in the flow of really filming, really uploading, like doing things like that, and just really embracing like the freedom. I think when I chose YouTube to be like, this is what I really want to do, it was years ago, and I just didn't do it, and I keep prolonging it, and then I'm like, I don't understand why. Like, there's so much stuff. Had I started YouTube years ago, I probably like would have never gone through, because I would have been so focused. So I feel like that's kind of where I need to be now. It's like focus just basically on my career. Instead of talking to people, I want to talk to a camera. Instead of, constantly taking in content, I want to make content, because like the content I'm bringing in is just stressing me out. So I don't know how I look, y'all. I'm not used to like makeup on me anymore, so I be feeling like I look crazy. Maybe this is too pink. Look cute on camera. Okay, so this is the finished look. My phone had died or whatever and completely just like shut off. I'm just gonna sit it right there. So this is kind of how I turned out. Where does it leave? Alright. Ooh, not that good. So this is my outfit. I need to lose this. Yeah, so here's my outfit. It's just like a crop top, sweatpant number. My hair is like wavy, whatever. I forgot what I was leaving off with when I was talking before, but now I'm just making something to eat. I want a burger, some fries, and then I'm gonna work. I was supposed to have a meeting, but she didn't show up in time, and now I'm just gonna move on with my life. I'd rather just skip it and keep moving than try to backtrack one time. So, yeah, I feel like half an hour isn't acceptable. Like, I'm not doing this type of thing. So yeah, I'm going to do that basically. What is that? Yeah, but I need another necklace. I told my husband I want to get one with his name, or maybe our last name. I think up at the top. And just have all my stack chains. I love this look. Yeah, that was baking soda, girl. Everybody was so concerned. They thought I was posting coke story yesterday. It was baking soda. I was sitting there going like this because I was cleaning the stove, and I'm like, it's funny and shit. I sent it to my friend. I'm like, YOLO. He was like, what? I'm like, chill. But yeah, now I feel pretty. I feel better. So I don't know. My hair is so like right here. You know what I'm just gonna start doing? I'm gonna just start filling it in. Everybody else doing it nowadays, so I don't even gotta feel ashamed for filling in my little thin spots. But my hair has actually gotten so much healthier. My husband was like, I like your hair like that. He was like, I thought I liked it curly, but then I seen it like that, and I think I like it like that more because it's like more done. He likes me when I'm just natural. That's what it is. So, yeah. I was like, no, boo, like, cause this is what's gonna make it grow. If my hair's straightened out, I take a lot more care of it, and it's actually a lot more healthier than when I'm leaving it curly, cause it gets drier. It's crazy, cause I can keep my hair more moisturized and taken care of when it is straight than when it is curly. So. Alright, this is the outro. See y'all later. I hope you enjoyed this type of video. Let me know if y'all like this. I feel like I was rambling, but everybody rambles on YouTube, so it don't really matter. I'll edit it, make it seem kind of legible. So yeah, if you like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I'm gonna end this real quick so I can film the intro to this, and then we will see you guys in the next video, I guess. yeah, I wanted to do an apartment tour. So I think that'll be the next thing I film today, because I'm just in a filming mood. You know? Just like, wanna be cute. Alright, I keep looking out the window, trying to find my cat today. He hasn't come to eat yet, so it's about that time. Usually while I'm making lunch, he starts to show his way into one of these bushes over here. He thinks you can't see him. He's completely all white. All white. But in his mind, he's green or something, because he'll sit and it's mad funny. Me and my neighbor were cracking up talk about him the other day, because he'll come, he'll walk, and he'll be like this. All the little trees and bushes, and it's like, you know, I can see you. Like,